videos and they'll put up like the little, the words and stuff of what it is and what's going on before the video gets started or during the video. And I'm like, that is so cool. And my understanding is just, like y'all probably know how to do that stuff, but me, I appreciate it. I'm gonna, you need me enough to quit talking while you're
Oh, you're good, man. You're good.
Okay.
No, I could do to help your page and all. You can, I can get video you doing an introduction just to kind of broaden, how your progress is going for your Facebook page.
Okay, sure. Do y'all want both engines running together or just the one? Or want the one just sitting where it is?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
You ready?
I need to stay out of the way so while you're doing your thing.
Hey, you should get a picture of me peeking over here.
Lately my camera works for things specifically. I just have to set it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get it?
Yeah, that's kicking in. I just gotta learn to move with the train in order to get it to turn on.
Here.
Oh,
What, stay there?
now we just a little virtual.
What about, you got that one there, take a shot or something?
Hold up.
No.
Stop.
Uh-oh.
Rail.
Did it?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. That's probably oops, that's my bad.
Hey.
That's the thing with it.
You taking a shot with that thing there?
No, that's off right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey guys, viewers, this is Trent85 here. I'm actually at a friend of mine's place here, where he's actually in the midst of a project called the Paducah, Tennessee Midland Railroad, which is built in nature scale. I'm going to turn the camera over to him where he can give us a little bit more detail. This is Mr. Eddie Toombs.
Hello.
And this is his railroad. Just kind of one of a couple power, as you see there. Just want to ask you a few questions, Eddie. What gave you the inspiration in starting this railroad?
Basically, some history back in Elmer Sulzer's Ghost Railroads of Tennessee, which is, I think, out of print now. And it basically of the Paducah, Tennessee and Alabama, and the Tennessee Midland Railroads built in the 1800s on the old Memphis line. Thinking about what they would be if the abandonment had never happened, or a short line had taken the place and was just doing a salute back to the name of merging both names together. I find freelancing a lot better. I find it you can pretty much base a railroad on the prototype, but based on a freelance to where you can do a could have been, and basically, you know, that's the inspiration along with the L and N in that era.
Okay, and when did you first started on this project?
Oh, let's see, last September.
Last September.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I've actually made a visit here, and we're just kind of pan around here. You know, there's a Seaboard Girl, one of my other members to the production team. As you can see here, last time I was here, had a little bit of progress made, but you know, this time being here, he's actually done a whole lot more. He's still got a lot more to work on as far as industry and scenery goes. But tell us a bit about the locomotive power you have for this railroad.
I've got two Athearn Genesis Jeep 9s, and I found those at a good price, and I'm a big fan, anybody who knows me well, of Jeep 9s and 7s. That's just my favorite power. For a short line that I've had experience with, that's usually the ones that, you know, ran, you know, a lot of Jeep 7 and 9s due to they were sold by the bigger class roads during, you know, when they were going to bigger power. So I pretty much have found running and riding in these to be, you know, just what I prefer in life. It's what I'm used to.
And can you tell us about some of the fictional railroads that you like to interchange with?
Yes. On the fictional, there is the Tennessee Northwestern, which is represented by the transfer caboose on the back. A friend of mine, Robert Walker, and myself, we come up with the road. It's pretty much taken the place in our timeline of the West Tennessee Railroad short line that operates from Fulton, Kentucky, down to Jackson, Tennessee, down to Corinth, Mississippi. We have, you know, a friend of ours, Damon Curtis, come up with a design. One of the designs is seen on my page group, Paducah, Tennessee Midland Railroad group on Facebook, and also I interchange with the I-Belt Railroad, which is part of the Illinois and Eastern, which is another friend of mine's road, Robert Walker, and also there's the Paducah and Louisville in Kentucky. A friend of mine, Steve, that's his. I interchange with other roads as well, like CSX, UP, Kansas City Southern, down in Memphis, and CN. And that's about all I could really think of at the moment. Oh, and also there's the Turner and Lewis, a friend of mine down in Alabama, and we interchange with him as well. And he's got a great page called the Turner and Lewis Railroad Group page.
Oh, very interesting. And can you tell us about some of the industries that are serving on this railroad?
Right, yes. Right now, some of the industries are being moved around or ideas being rechanged. That's the great thing about our hobby. We do get to, you know, as we go, think things through. Right now, over here to the right, this is what I call kind of, right now, a little steel coil company. There's not really a, I have not got far along with this project yet. Further down, you'll see a team track where the lumber car is. That is just where lumber's unloaded and loaded to trucks. Right now, I just call it, if the company exists, I call it Timber Lake Company. And down further is a box plant where they make cardboard. That's the spur there. Coming over more a little to the left is what I call Copper's railroad telephone poles. There's not a car there right now. As you know, sometimes train cars can get just shoved anywhere sometimes. And further down to the left is Falcon's Plastics. There's not a building there for it yet, but that's where plastic, I say that they make medicine bottles and stuff. And then over further down to your left again is Kokomo Grain. And the yard. I meant to tell you, there's the yard, and then it's the 4-track yard of Lexington, then Kokomo Grain, and then there's just the Transpark team track where anything can be unloaded. The plastic pellet hopper is there just because it's a bad orders cart. It's got a derailment problem with one of the trucks. We go further down. There is Walker Brothers Gravel and Sand. And it's where any commodity from sand, rock, or gravel gets unloaded and then loaded to trucks. And then as we come further down here to the next spur. And the final one, I'm calling this Del Monte right now, just a canned food place. You know, where canned goods get loaded and shipped out, you know, to go to stores and things like that from other distributors.
If I was to say in reference to each of these companies, how many carloads would you say they would get, you know, actually per year?
Each one of these companies?
Yeah.
Well, as far as in Del Monte, they're switched out daily except on Sunday. And that would be probably, you would say, per week, I would say a normal switching out load to go into the yard and be blocked up for its trip back up to Wisconsin would be, I'm saying probably good 20 or 30 blocks of cars. So 20 maybe per week, 20 or something like that, 20 or 30.
Okay.
And then as far as in Walker Brothers Sand, because the commodity takes a while to be unloaded into trucks and stuff like that, it's a very I would say we get those received probably in 8 sets of blocks of cars like per week. And then because they take, we keep some in the Lexington yard, and then some of them get transferred out here as needed. And then the commodity just arranges to the dealers in across town that need the product. So, and as far as in Copper's poles, they get brought in by truck out of the woods after being finished at a mill, and then loaded on and then shipped up north to get creosoted. And then from there to dealers or to companies or county, state entities. As far as in the box plant, well, those are probably sporadic. They get maybe, I don't know, I think our railroad estimates probably about a good, seems like maybe 10 or so in a week's time of when it's switched out, because it takes a while for them to bale the stuff and get it ready for shipment. So, and then Falcon's Plastics, well, they get switched out every day. That's probably the biggest bulk of our covered hoppers. I say the PTM gets probably a good set of 50 or 60 switched out a week. So, you know. So
that's a lot of business right there.
A lot of business. And there's still more. There's some that is seasonal, like AmeriGas. Well, it'll slow down during the summer months. But during the winter months, you know, we're probably bringing a tanker in, probably several into the yard probably every week, maybe about 6, you know. And then, of course, it takes a while propane stretches a long way. So it takes a while to unload and get them shipped into little trucks that ship them out to the customers so they can have, you know, heat and other things that they do with propane.
Okay. And do you have any future plans as far as additions to the railroad itself?
Yeah, and as far as for this layout, yes, at first this was going to be just a one level, but as I started re-looking at it and thinking about it, where Falcon's Plastic is over there right now, Falcon's Spur is going to be changed and made into a grade, and it will come up and swing around as it comes up and over the yard lead, and then start coming and over in front of the door and head all the way back over to this way and be a bigger yard. And some of the industries will go back up there higher, and then some more will be down here, because this is kind of basically a transport. But I want to represent Jackson. That gives me a second yard, gives me an engine facility or some more engines for the PTM, and its parent company, CPTX. It's a cooperative rail parent company that kind of owns the railroad itself, and they lease and switch cars out, you know, and everything. So, so that'll be a facility for that. So that's my next goal, is to start up another level and then relook at the backdrop being situated. So,
oh, it's very interesting. As you see, viewers, you know, kind of what I've been told around. I mean, just like any model railroad, there's still a lot more work to be done, a lot more additions to be put on there. So from here at Mr. Toombs' place here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, we're going to show the Jeep 9 power of this railroad here. Kind of give you the and the leasing company as he described there. So we're gonna sign off here. And just kind of give an idea for those that are on his page here. You know, this is Trainer85 signing out.